Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. We're going to talk about the new Natasha Denona Love Face Palette. That's what it's called. We are going to do some swatches. I am going to do a look. We're going to demo this one and see if we like it or not. I'm fairly sure that this is the Valentine's release for Natasha Denona of this year. She usually does something Valentine's inspired. I'll show you this one next to some other things that she has that is like love inspired too, and you can see whether or not you think that this is too similar or not, but I'm just excited to be digging into this one. This is the first video that I'm filming after vacay, so I'm excited to be back in the studio filming again. If you haven't been in before, do consider subscribing. I do upload quite a lot of videos, and right now we're gonna dive into this one. I feel a little bit rusty. I haven't filmed for a week and I feel a little rusty. This one is like a metallic pink on the outside. This one looks like the other face palettes that she released, which is like a face and eye palette. It is a highlighter. Mine came a little bit smooshed, and there is a blush, and then there are 5 eyeshadows. I got some questions of people asking why there are never any bronzers in there. But bronzers are so specific, so if you put a bronzer in here, you're excluding so many skin tones by just putting a bronzer in here. And a blush and a highlighter usually can be stretched over more skin tones and be used in different ways and combined in different ways so they can work on a multitude of skin tones, and I think that is way smarter. With that being said, I do hope that Natasha Denona comes out with bronzers in the future. So this one is 5 eyeshadows, one of them is a shimmer, there is a blush, and there is a highlighter. This highlighter formula, I did smush it back in together. It seems to be the same great highlighter formula that was in her other face palette. I don't know if this blush is the same, but if it is the same from the other face formula, it isn't my favorite formula from her. It looks a little bit hard pressed. It's a little bit like you need to build it up on your cheeks. You can make it work, but not my absolute favorite. But the eyeshadows from Natasha Denona are some of my absolute favorite eyeshadows, especially the matte ones. And to be getting 4, a little bit more on the colorful side, because there is a pretty bright pink, it is a pastel pink, and then there's this dark plummy one, and then there's this more like mauvey one. I think that's really smart to include here if you don't want to go bright, and this like rose gold shimmery one. I'm excited about this one. I know that not everyone is excited about this one, because I know that some people might think that this is boring or we've seen it before. I will say, let me actually pull up some footage of this one next to some other things that she's done before in this love family. She has the mini love palette, the mini crush palette, and the big love palette as well. And I don't think that these are necessarily dupes, but I definitely think that they're similar enough where I'm starting to think that maybe next year we can have another theme, because we definitely do not need a 5th love palette. I'm just putting it, unless she does something spectacularly different. We don't need another pink palette. Don't turn into Pat McGrath, please and thank you. But I am excited to be diving into this one. It's taking everything in me to not do an all matte look, and for that reason we might do an all matte look, because these 3 together, they're gonna be amazing together. And there's gonna be so many people that do a look with this one and do the shimmery one. Ooh, first of all, I got this at Look Fantastic. Look at the fingerprints already. I got this at Look Fantastic and it was over $70. Look Fantastic's prices is normally not the bar you should hold all other brands to. The last face palette that Natasha Denona had was $62 on Sephora US. For some reason, some places have higher prices and then they will add discount. It's annoying. This was like 70 something. They had a discount code so I can get it down. I really wish that Look Fantastic would just get in line with everyone else. It's so annoying that they're doing their own pricing with all million different discount codes, and honestly, it's frustrating, and I wish that they would stop. I do believe that this one is going to be available at other places as well, and I do think that Look Fantastic accidentally released it too early. But listen, that is not my fault. That is their fault. I'm going to buy it if they release it. They sent it to me. I'm going to do a little bit of detective work and see if I can find where this is going to be available later. But I can promise you that it's going to be at least on Sephora. I've also heard rumors in the corridors that Natasha Denona is coming to Ulta. When this palette is available, I will link it in the description box. It's going to be the first link in the description box. So if you're interested in this palette and you do shop through my links, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I do use affiliated links. Okay, let's zoom in let's get going. Enough with the chitter chatter. So I do want to start with the blush and highlight because I'm not wearing that on my skin right now. So I'm thinking we'll just go in with this blush. It's called Cream Blush, but yeah, it picks up really good. This is a Sonia G brush. This is the classic base. I am not the person that does a lot of foundation with a brush. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. How do I feel about this color? Ambivalent. That's pink. That is... It's like a pastel cream pink. I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like this color. Who thought of this color? I'm not mad, I just have questions. I don't like it. Let me see if we can go over that with a sponge. Maybe I can tone it down a little bit. Not living, dying, sneezing for this cheek color. It's a pastel-y white based pink. Not normally my journey. Yeah. So instead we're doing this with, this is a ref for 35. We're gonna do the highlighter. I do love this highlighter formula though. I think it is stunning. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I really wish that she would come out with these highlighters in singles. And also I really, really hope that we get to see bronzer singles from Natasha in the future. Because I really like the way that she does powder products or even cream to powder products. So with the highlighter on top, I do like my cheeks, but they're... I feel like I'm a caricature of like a little cherub. Or you say cherub or cherub? In Sweden you would say kerub, but I'm not 100% sure how you would say it in English. I don't know about this cheek color. I'm just trying to go over with everything I have on my... And if you're wondering about anything that's on my face, I will link it down below. Okay, let me do some eye primer and we can start with this one here, I think. The Esme one. I'm only going to be using Esme, Juliet, and Aiko. Because I love mattes. I'm just going to stamp this Esme on. I'm not going to be swiping because I want this to be as intense as possible. And sometimes when you start swiping, especially if you have looser lids like I do, like mine are a little wrinkled, they're a little loose, they lost a little bit of their firmness. I feel like stamping the shadows on make them look a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more even. It's never going to be 100% even because I definitely have some nooks and crannies in my lids now that I did not have before. So like shadows just make everything look uneven, but I can do my best. And when I want stuff to be really pigmented, I try to stamp it on and then I start blending the edges. That is really fun. It's a bright pink, but it's not like Barbie. It's like this, like handle on this, like this is from, I think this is a Cleona brush. It's part of the Dragon Fruit collection. It's like a brighter, but still warmer, like almost, I don't want to say raspberry, but just something not like white based. Maybe that's what I should say. So I'm gonna do this here, just in the crease. I'm not gonna put it on my lid. That is pretty. I really like that. I don't think I'm gonna use the pastel. Like I can use the pastel, it's called Juliet, to blend the edges if I feel like it's needed. But I don't think it's needed because my primer is a little yellow base, so I think it's better if I blend this warm pink into it than if I blend the white based pastel into it. I think I'll just put the same under the eyes. I used to be all about like doing a contrasting lower lash line, but I think that the longer I've done makeup, the more I have come to realize that I prefer, both on me and on others actually, a matching or at least a cohesive lower lash line, unless I'm doing something neutral and having something poppy on their lower lash line, because I still think that that is actually quite pretty. But I used to do like, you know, a blue eye and a red lower lash line. I don't like that anymore. That's not my journey. I think it's fun to have like an evolving taste on what you like and what you don't like. Because who knows, maybe in the future I'll like it again. Should never be above change. Let me just put it like that. Okay, so I want to use this Aiko shade. And I have a brush here. This is from the BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy. This is number A504. And this one that I used here is the BK Beauty 209. And I'm going to use this smaller one with the Aiko one. And I don't talk a lot about brushes, but I will try and do that more in the future. But I try to mention when I can. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. All of these are powder, by the way. They're not cream to powder. These are her original powder shadows, except the metal. Well, it's a metallic powder, but it's not a matte, of course. I know. Captain Obvious has entered the building. That's pretty. Blends in pretty good with the pink. I'm gonna use that in the crease and on half the lid. And then we're gonna see how good this pastel pink is. Because let me tell you, when Natasha Denona gets a pastel right, she gets a pastel right. Let me do a little drama on the lower lash line too. I'm just adding that dark shadow. I will say, I think that this is a really good dark shadow. But it is a little powdery, which makes it not the absolute easiest to build up. Not a bad eyeshadow, but I do prefer, and I know this isn't for everyone, this is me. This is a me thing. I sometimes prefer when dark or really bright colors have almost a little bit of a, not grit to them, but like a little, there's something to them that just makes them stick and just build. And I know some people prefer the immediate blendability, but I would rather have something super pigmented that I can build up until like almost blackness than something that is made to be super easy to blend with. And I know not everyone is the same, so I guess some of us are just gonna have to like agree to disagree. But as you can see, it's definitely a good eyeshadow, and I was able to get it dark, and I was able to somewhat blend it into the pink. Is it perfect? No. But we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to be good enough. No one's out here doing like the airbrushed Instagram pictures. I'll be honest with you, not even the Instagram peeps are. We're just trying to do something that we can be happy with. So I think what I'm gonna do... I need a flat brush. Okay, so this is a flat brush. It is a little dirty, but we'll be fine. These are actually from Bella Beauté Bar. So I'm gonna pick up that Juliet shade, and we are just gonna stamp this on the inner half of the lid. And we are gonna see, I mean, it's obvious that it has pigment and it goes on, which is good. That is one of two. It needs to have pigment when it goes on, but it also needs... you also need to be able to like blend out the edges a little bit without losing it. Like it needs to actually stick to the lid as well, and not just be on top of the lid. And as soon as you just like breathe too violently, it just flicks off the lid. But so far so good. And I will say, I do think that Natasha Denona makes really good matte pastels. She has found a way to make them substantial but still keep the pastelness, because sometimes pastels end up being very sheer, like very sheer. I think that that looks really good. I'm a fan. Should I do a liner? I never do a liner. No no liner. But let me do a little mascara and I'll show you what it looks like before I put any falsies on. So this is where we're at right now, and I really like it. It's like a warm pink burgundy look, and I really like it. Of course, I didn't use all of the eyeshadows. I didn't use the shimmer. nobody's shocked. And I didn't use this like more mauvey one. And of course, if you use this one together with this one, it's going to be a more muted look. It's not going to be as bright pink. And I think it's smart to put something in a palette that makes it go a bit in a different direction if that is what you need. I love an all matte look, so I'm gonna keep it like this. But let me put on some falsies and we can have a final chat about this palette and whether or not it makes sense to buy it. Okay, so mission accomplished. Everything is on my face, on my eyes. I really like the look. I'm a little... Okay. I love Natasha Denona and I love the quality of her last face palette and I like these colors more, but I hate this blush. I don't like it on me. I think it looks chalky. Even now when I've tried to fix it, I still think it looks chalky. I don't like the color at all. I wish she would have picked a warmer non-white based pink in this one because I think this pink is honestly kind of unflattering probably on a lot of skin tones, and I don't even care that much about unflattering. Like, I'm more about having fun with makeup, but even I could see that that blush was a no-go for me, and I know there are gonna be people in the comments saying they love a blush on me. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't. So this blush, that's a no. And then when I look at these shades and like when I like compare them with like other, like in a way I already own these shades. If you have the Big Love palette, the one that's like this one, if you have these small palettes, because this one has that dark plum, this one has the pastel pink, you also get the rose gold in some of these. If you have all of the other Love palettes and you don't think you're gonna love this blush, I really don't think that this is for you. I really don't think this is for you. If you don't own any of the Love palettes and you really love the idea of a face and eye palette together, because I do, the packaging is beautiful, the formulas, I like the formulas of these. I think this is a different formula than the one we had before. It was easier to pick up than the one from before. The eyeshadows are beautiful. If you think you're gonna use all of these products, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but really go back and look at the footage with this pink blush and be like, am I gonna use that? Because otherwise you might as well just pick up one of the mini eyeshadow palettes. I will say my favorite is this pastel pink, like matte. It's beautiful. I like it, but I'm not in love. Pun intended. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to have some more insights in how my vacation was, I'm gonna have a vlog on my vlog channel. It's gonna come up hopefully later this week. And I will see you actually again on this channel tomorrow, because I'm gonna have a video again with some other makeup products. So bye!